my goodness, are you in for a wild ride? We went with Toney Begay from Monument Valley Safari to Hunt's Mesa to go camping. Hunt's Mesa is at the back of Monument Valley that's located on the Arizona-Utah border. It's known for its towering sandstone buttes. Both of Toney's parents are Navajo traditional healers, and he has been a guide in this area for over 40 years. Turns out he has been exploring these areas since he was a teen. We took old coal mining roads and roads used by the Navajo to take animals to pastures. Let me tell you about these roads. I mean, we should put roads in quotation marks because they weren't really roads. I mean, I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I've never seen roads like this, okay? Never. We were not going on anything that I would call a road. I mean, honestly, I was often worried that the car was going to flip backwards or sideways. I mean, it was so bumpy and so steep. I had no idea how we didn't puncture tires. He had just gotten new shocks, and he said he has to get new shocks every 3 months. I mean, I believe that. We went across sand dunes, across washes, up jagged, edged cliffs. Felt like I was in a Chevy truck commercial. I just had to keep telling myself that Toney does this trip like 5 days a week. So I didn't notice any dents or scratches or smushed in parts of this car. So clearly this car can make it through this trail. But the question is how? We were going across places that were, as far as I'm concerned, on the side of a cliff, and on the side of the cliff in a way that, you know, there's an abyss below and there's no guide rails. There's nothing keeping you on the road other than a very experienced driver whose Chevy works very well. So, oops, there was lots of cursing and I just had to apologize. Yeah, I'm the kind of girl that when a guy drives over a railroad track kind of fast, I say, slow down. So you can imagine that this was a little bit of a stretch for me. At one point, we went across a place that had a drop-off on both sides of the vehicle. He said it's called Look Both Ways. I said some bad words. Often, I just couldn't even tell where the road was and where he was going to go. Do you see this stuff? Yikes! Come on, the car, this can't wait. Where are you? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, hold on. Somebody save me, this truck cannot go there. I started to think that the more I screamed and yelled as I was terrified in the front seat of the car, that Toney started to like it more. So after a while, I just started screaming and yelling just for fun. Okay, let's just talk about it. Who needs roller coasters? This is starting to be fun. We came to a place that there was a turnaround in the road and a gorgeous view overlooking Monument Valley below. Toney explained that he was dropping us off here for the sunset, and we would stay here for about 3 hours. And he would go and set up the tents and start up the fire and get dinner started while we explored the area. We scouted out the place nearby for our sunset and then went on a several-mile hike to be able to explore the mesa and see other views. You can't just look down on this scenery and not think about the movies that were filmed here. Classics like The Wild Wild West and Once Upon a Time in the West and John Ford's How the West Was Won. Wow. I think I can see cowboys and Indians running around down there right now. And look at this sunset shot. Wow. In Once Upon a Time in the West, there's a classic line where Henry Fonda's character Frank was told by his boss, "I told you to scare him, not kill him." Frank replied, "People scare better when they're dying." I set up a time lapse to be able to catch the beauty of the sun going down over Monument Valley that I love. After it got dark, Toney was there to pick us up and take us back to our new campsite for the night. Holy smokes, now we have to go over these roads in the dark. Jeez Louise! Toney cooked this amazing dinner of steak and chicken and corn and potatoes. Part of it was cooked underneath the fire in the coals. Once the sun went down, it got cold though, so thank goodness we had minus 35 degrees Teton sleeping bags and a nice cozy tent. We went right to sleep, and it seemed like in no time, at 4:30 a.m., Toney was waking us up telling us that the Milky Way was looking great. So we got up with a groan and went out to take this shot. It seemed like we'd just gotten back in the sleeping bag, and Toney was waking up saying it was time to go for sunrise. I just love this time lapse overlooking Monument Valley. Stunning. We followed Toney in the dark to a place that he said was Tom Tillis's favorite sunrise location because it lit up the back of one of the most famous formations in Monument Valley, the totem pole. It was really beautiful. I set up time lapses and shot videos while guys shot photos. It was incredible to watch the sun come up over this area. How often do you have a location like this all to yourself? What a treat. Plus, we had Toney, who was telling us about the Navajo ways and stories from his childhood. Well, I could get used to this kind of camping. I mean, we didn't have to pack the tent or the gear. He set it up for us. We didn't have to bring the food or fix the food. He fixed it all for us. I mean, I could get used to this kind of camping. Thank you, Toney. Toney brought us back for a wonderful breakfast, and then it was on the road again to take us out. We got one last good view from atop Hunts Mesa and started our trip down. This was one of my most favorite parts of this entire vacation. Toney was incredible, and having this amazing location to ourselves was magical. I hope you enjoyed it too.